Good morning. It is April 1st and I am going to do a quick tour through our early spring garden here. The thing that is the most gorgeous right now is, of course, the redbud tree. This is something that I have found very interesting. I did not realize the fan nature of all the branching for this tree, but here we have some transplanted bacopa. The pansies I bought in the fall, and around the trellis I have some flowering sweet peas. The sweet peas I planted quite a long time ago, but just recently a few more sprouts came out of the ground. The others here have been going up for a while, and I am excited to see that grow up this trellis. Fingers crossed, or obelisk. Fingers crossed that they do it before it gets too hot. I have been trying to decide what to put in the flower box this year. I know I have my inspiration photo that I've been working from. When I pull out the pansies, I was thinking about putting some petunias in just to kind of fill in this year as I try and find the rest of the elements I want to put in here. But the Chef's Choice rosemary is looking nice, and so is the lavender. Now, if you'll remember, I did trim the lavender on the high side, so these are really tall already for this time of year. And this is a sea lavender that I recently planted. I used to keep heliotrope, one of those, and it used to fry in the summer. So I'm going to try this. I see this all around the neighborhood and it always looks really pretty. This is what's going on in the circle garden. We have a couple of scarlet ibris coneflower, some old penstemon that I have not decided whether or not this is an annual or a perennial, and I need to cut this back. I planted a whole bunch of petunias through here to create a huge drift. Behind that I plan to put speedwell or veronica, and behind that I have some seed going for echinacea purpurea, so that it'll have a nice graduated purple, white, pink look. These are the oriental dove salvias. I transplanted this one this last fall. I've been keeping these clipped really tightly in order to create a dense ball before I let them bloom, hoping that this will create more depth to the way they look, as opposed to what I had last year, which was kind of wispy. Behind that I have another salvia. These get 12 by 12, so I'm hoping this will fill in with a nice dense purple flower with the foliage. The variegated box leaf euonymus I've also started clipping to try and keep them tight. There are gladiolus here, lemon balm. Behind that, the sunshine ligustrum, which I've just clipped down a little more because I'm going to try and round it out. I bought a new ligustrum that I put behind it to kind of create an echo, and I might get a couple more just to add some color. Over here we have the topiary boxwood that I planted in a video, and a salvia, skyscraper salvia I believe, that has looked really pretty. Surrounding it I have 3 green tower boxwoods. The idea with all these shrubs is to bring some height to the space. This little vignette here is starting to come in with the purple pillar, the Laura pedalum in bloom behind it. That's the jazz hands. And the new sunshine ligustrum, I plan to keep that in a small ball. And all of these are just gonna bloom so beautifully every year. This corner looks amazing. Between these two plants, I transplanted a columbine from the other side of the yard. I decided that its size and texture and its shape would look really good between these two guys. The fruit trees have now leafed out. There was a beautiful blooms on both of them, the peach and the apium, and the apium actually has fruit on it. Not too much fruit, but it might just be enough for us to get a taste of the apium this year. Of course, all the rains have created peach leaf curl, but that's okay. I'll try again next year and see if the treatments work. We just got so much rain this year. The espalier persimmons are looking good. I did finally get through and attach both to their trellises and clean them up, so they are both looking very nice right now. I've showed you the beautiful Dutch iris a couple times. This is looking really pretty. And I am thinking about putting a topiary ball, something a little taller in this pot to create another statement. California poppies have started coming out and they are looking really pretty. And here is a Shasta daisy that looks like it's about to open up. I'm real happy about that. I've had struggles with Shasta daisies in the past. I have several more clumps of Shasta daisy here and they are nowhere far as long as the other clump. I'm guessing because these don't get quite as much sun due to this little wall. Update on my transplanted hydrangea. This bush seems to be taking. I do see quite a few dead limbs in there. I'm just kind of trying to wait it out a little longer before trimming out all the little sticks in case they do leaf out, but it seemed to have survived the transplant and we'll see if it survives the summer in this spot as well. The square planting area seems to be taking its time coming out. A little bit of the nepeta is showing up, the 3 nepeta here. One of the echinacea is doing well. The other echinacea has a few little leaves on it. Next here is the freesia. So I'm considering moving these once they're finished blooming. My thought is that they might look really nice planted along this little rock river. There are 3 agapanthus here, but they might look really nice in the spring blooming along here. Some beautiful daffodils. A bunch didn't come back, but quite a few did under the purple pony. We have started prepping the containers for our vegetable garden, and I do have a ton of seeds started, many of which are in my little greenhouse here, and some are under grow lights inside. Snap peas are a full-on jungle here. I suspect I planted them at the wrong time of year, and they are looking really good and super healthy, but I can't reach any of the peas because they're so high up and they haven't trellised nicely this year. I think they're almost ready to start connecting to the maple tree above us. This is the catalpa that I planted next to the lemon tree, and that is right across from the Limelight Prime hydrangea that I planted here a couple years ago. It did a great job here last year, and my fingers are crossed that it will be just as happy here. Next to it, I have 2 encore azaleas that also have a few buds on them, and I am excited for that. I wasn't sure that would work out. The rose is covered in buds. I'm so excited. I really hope this ends up being the gorgeous show that I was taught about in the workshop if you did a really good prune. And I did all those lateral canes where I S-shaped the canes onto the trellis, so I'm hoping this is going to be amazing. That does it for the April 1st tour. I think next month I might have to even do a 2-week tour from now because everything is going to look amazing so quickly. But thank you for joining me for my garden journey. I'll see you in the next one.